Hey guys, we are gonna do a blade battle. And I'm not gonna do the face cam, switch to the desktop. I just want to get to the nitty gritty. So basically, this is the battle of the boutique brand prototypes. um, I have been blessed enough to be able to check out both of these prototypes from what are called boutique brands. Basically, small knife designers mostly who are having knives OEM'd by Riot or Bestech or whatever and selling them on their websites. It's not big knife companies, big brands, not really knife makers in general. And I think it's awesome. I am so stoked. I've bought a lot of those types of knives. And that's not to say that some of them aren't knife makers. It's not to say some of them don't have retail, whatever. It's just, that's an easy description there for it. This one here is the Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir. This knife has surprised me in so many ways. I originally thought it would, be an interesting knife to check out. I pre-ordered one out of basically professional courtesy. In a sense, it's a fucking douchey way to say it, but I like the guy. I've heard great things. I figured I'd buy one of the knives, right? It helps him, and worst case, I don't like it, I sell it, right? Anyway, so I got in the prototype to check out after the pre-order went live, which there still are some available. They're running out, but dude, if you like sort of bigger knives and you're just not sure, you're like, damn, that thing's just too big, I don't think it would work. I implore you, if you have the money and want to give things a shot, pre-order one. I think it'll blow you away like it has me. It's just phenomenal. I mean, yeah, it really is. I've been so impressed. Chris did such a great job on this. There are some minor changes. I'll go over those real quick. You can get a 3D milled clip like this or a wire clip. Those are both options when you order. This clip here will be rounded off a little bit because this is a little pokey right here. So that's going to be rounded off. This will be a full pass-through, and it will be slightly taller. So there, you won't have any steel in between. It'll be a hole, right? But a little bit taller, same length. The D10's going to be just a smidgen stronger, which I think is perfect. Everything on here will be T8, and I think that's it for changes, which those are perfect. Now this here is, this is $425 for the pre-order. But it will come with some cool stuff. He runs a Hank company. I'm pretty sure I already know for sure it's going to come with a bottle of KPL. And I'm sure he's going to do something cool. This is the Luft Concepts Avant. I'm trying to be quick because you guys have probably seen these from me before. This is a knife designed by Jake Wright from Bearded Gear and Ryan Rimmer from Rimmer Designs. Jake is a very good friend of mine. I don't know Ryan very well. I'm hoping to get to know him a little bit through this experience. This is also a prototype. Both of these are. It's micarta with M390, a wire clip that is reversible. That's important. And it is a flipper and hole deployment, basically just like that. They are very similar in terms of build and everything. This one's $299. Again, will come with some cool stuff that they put together. Let me think. Changes on this. The only one I know of is they may they may change the flipper tab just a little bit to make it less kind of pokey on you. That's the only change I know of currently. So that is the Avant. So let's get into the battle, right? We have the battle of the boutique brand protos. Materials, price, perceived value, ergos, aesthetics, cutting, carry, sounds, fit and finish, and action. These are going to be really hard, guys, because they're made by the same company, and they're very similar in terms of materials and everything. with some differences. Now, perceived value is going to be tough. I may cross that out. I think I will, actually, because they're not out yet, so I can't really base it on like what other people may think it's worth. You know what I mean? So I'm crossing that one out. Hopefully I won't have to cross anything else out, and we'll start with materials. Okay, so the Gungnir has titanium bolsters, or actually, it's not even necessarily a bolster, right? Because it ends up going through the whole thing as a liner. So titanium bolster liner, whatever you want to call it. Black micarta inlay, onlay, whatever, scales. Titanium pocket clip or wire clip, depending on what you get. It's a bolster lock. M390 steel with a hollow grind. Titanium backspacer. Those are your materials on Gungnir. On the Avant, it's very similar. I mean, you have M390 with a fantastic hollow grind, titanium backspacer, wire clip only on this guy, which is reversible, and titanium liner lock. So, in a sense, they use the exact same black micarta. I mean, they literally use all of the exact same materials, as far as I understand. So this is a tough one, right? Oh, this will be changed to a captive pivot. Sorry, just remember that, like this. So that'll be the same too. Yeah, I don't know which one I would give materials to. It's almost like I want to do a tie because it's the same. But you get more materials on this, and it's a titanium bolster lock versus a titanium liner lock, which would be perceived as better, I guess, in terms of like price to make and all that shit, right? Although crown spine, that's fit and finish. So I'm gonna give materials to Gungnir for that reason alone. Now, I don't know, you can disagree with me, but I think because there's more of the materials and you get that bolster lock and these full titanium bolsters versus just the titanium liner lock. That's my differentiator. So there we go. Price, that's easy. $299, $425. Again, you get a lot more for that, but that's not what the category is saying. Avant gets a point. All right, ergos. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, so Gungnir. The ergonomics on this knife are incredible. I absolutely love it. It just fills my hand. It's slim, though. It's not like fat. When I ride it like this, I get right to that jimping. Feels fantastic. It has this choil, which is not meant to be a finger choil, but it is for me. And it works fantastically like that. Now I'm right on that jimping. Money, and he is actually another change I forgot. This is going to be all rounded out a little more to be more like a choil, even though it's not technically a choil. I don't know. You can also hold it back here, and now you have a machete for chopping down trees when you're going through the jungle after your plane crashes. Very, very comfortable knife. All grips, you know, you can hold it however you really want to. This feels fantastic. Yeah, the ergos are extremely comfortable on that knife. The Avant. This grip back here is magnificent. It feels very, very comfortable back here. And up here, you have a very comfortable choil type deal. You can ride up here on the blade like this to get close. You can ride back here and kind of pinch like a Spyderco. And then you have this back here. Probably wouldn't use this if you crash your plane or whatever, but well, you might use it to like chop up dinner or something, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so ergos are really good on both. Shit, this is really hard. I think just because it fills my hand a little better, for me personally, having a larger sized hand, I think the Gungnir just has a slight edge Man, I really did not think it would go that way. Okay. Anyway, I gotta do this. This is hard, man. Really hard. Now, I want to make sure that I say this. My battles are mostly all in good fun. And both of these are fantastic. I recommend them both. Pre-order them both when you can. This one's available right now. This one's coming in August for pre-order. They're both fantastic. I will be pre-ordering both. So no matter what happens here, they're amazing. I just want you to know. That's why they're in the battle, right? I don't do battles with shit knives. I don't do battles with knives I don't love. It's always knives I love. So anyway, aesthetics. Ugh. God. Okay. God. Okay. So this knife, it's not really my jam in terms of the aesthetics. I like it. I think it's a good looking knife. I have nothing against it. I'll be owning one, and it'll probably be a knife I say looks good, right? But it's not necessarily my style. I like knives with holes a lot. One of my favorite knives ever is the Field Duty. Not very dissimilar, right? I love the F5.5, but that's going to lead me into, I don't know what it is. I love a sexy sheep's foot. I really do. And I think with the hole pass through and everything, it's going to look even better. But just based off of what I have here, I slightly prefer the Gungnir, just based on the shape and the blade shape. And again, this is not bad, man. I've said this a million times, but it's like a PM2 mixed with an Arius, and I like both those knives. But they're not the most beautiful thing to me, whereas this, to me, is just stunning. So, Gungnir. Gungnir's got a little lead right now. Cutting. Oh, God damn it. Okay. So, I used both of these last night to chop up a Amazon box, like into tiny shreds, to figure out what was going on here. They both have an absolutely fantastic hollow grind. I think I've said that like 30 times, so I'm trying to be, short here. The hollow on this is super deep, super thin, because it's such a tall blade. This is super deep, super thin, even though it's not the tallest blade, but that's stock. I mean, it's a little bit thinner in the stock to begin with, so you're going to get, I think they're both roughly, 17, 18 thousandths behind the edge, something like that, average. They both went through cardboard like absolute butter because of the hollow grind, the way that they're shaped and everything. I will say that Gungnir, when going through the material, it was like literal butter. Like, it was like slicing through hot butter, because it's such a hefty blade and knife that you're just like gliding right through it. Whereas with the Avant, I had to give a little more of a push. Now, it's not like it was hard to go through. It cut just as well. It just needed a little more power. Now, I think the only thing I can really say differentiating-wise is, well, I prefer the tip on the Gungnir because it's right there. Sheep's foot, right? I'm right there cutting my label out if I'm doing that, right? Now, you're going to get more penetrating power with this guy, and it'll still work well for that, but you see how you have to get up and over that belly to get to the tip. So that's a positive for Gungnir. It's cutting a little bit smoother because of that weight, and that tip, for me, makes more sense in my everyday life. The one thing the Avant has, I think, sort of substantially over the Gungnir is it doesn't have this choil right here, where when I was cutting last night, if I held it back here, sometimes I would go to cut and I would start my cut here and it would catch on that, and then I'd be like shredding the box and I'd have to readjust, and then it would be absolutely fantastic. Where the Avant, because of the design of this right here versus that, I don't know how it works, whatever. If I got in there, plus I'm up here, right? If I started a cut here, it just glides right into the cut because of that. So you don't have any of the hang-up type stuff going on. Man, they're both really, really good cutters. You could probably do more with this because of the length and everything. But I think that one little thing with the hang-up kind of got me a couple times last night. So I am going to give it to Avant. But again, these are all just way too close. Carry. All right, so this is going to be closer than it should be, but it ultimately come out the way you probably would think. This does come in a wire clip option, which will be like this. So it will carry even better. This thing carries, it's very slim. This thing carries as simply as well as a Para 3 to me. I carried this a few times in gym shorts. I carried it in jeans, front pocket, back pocket, all that stuff. And it like disappears. It's freaking amazing. It really is. For the size of this thing, how massive it is, how heavy it is, it should not carry that well. And it does. It's ridiculous. Now, this also has a wire clip. It's an option on that, I've said. It carries relatively deep. It is super lightweight. I mean, as you know, as well as this carries, this is super light. It's under 3 ounces. Let me see if they're one's thicker than the other. It looks like the Avant is just slightly thinner than Gungnir. I mean, this thing is incredibly thin for the size. But anyway, lightweight, carries well, and then the key factor here is reversible clip, guys. It wins just on that alone. So carry goes to Avant. Uh-oh. Sounds. Oh, okay. So Gungnir is a thunderclap. It doesn't always happen anymore because I took it apart. It's probably going to take a little bit for it to dry out. There goes that ting. It just makes this amazing ting, and when it shuts, it tings. Ting. It's like swords clashing. There it is. Now you get it every time. So it's freaking amazing, okay? The sounds are incredible. I didn't think it would get better. Then the Avant showed up. And this thing sings, literally sings. I don't know if you hear that. I've already disassembled this, put it back together. It still does it. It has to be the hollow grind. Do you hear that? I've heard some people say they don't like that high-pitched ting. You can ting it off the blade. Hold on, let me do this. Like, come on. Yeah, the Avant wins this category for sounds. It has no closing sound. Does not need it. Because it does that. It's incredible. Both incredible. That ting, though. Avant, baby. Taking the lead, I think. Fit and finish. Okay, interesting. So, both of these made by Riot. Both of these are done extremely well. You can see all the edges there. The micarta is done really well. The clip is done well. Transitions to anything are very good. Hollow grind, again, ridiculous on this knife. Crown spine. That's one thing very positive on this knife. Yeah, very, very well done. Liner lock is done extremely well. Bearings are done well. Very smooth. Gungnir. Again, extremely ridiculous hollow grind out to the tip. For such a large knife, man, it's incredible. Jimping is extremely well done. The transitions are almost imperceptible between micarta and titanium, which is always an impressive thing Riot does. The micarta is very well finished. You can see the edges here. It has a very good bolster lock that is done very well. The clip is finished very well. Back spacer, lanyard. I mean, everything, again, perfectly knocked down. Chamfered. I love how this rounds right here. Yeah, so they're both extremely well done. I think the size and like just how massive this is, and then how well finished it still is, and how this is finished right here, just really blows me away. And I do think that micarta, if you look at it on the edges, just seems a little bit better. Like it's finished just a little bit better than on here. Now, I'm guessing that 90% of that is just as soon as somebody rubs their oils into it, it's going to just melt away and look just like this. And this has been around a lot longer, so... But I have to come up with something here, right? It's basically comes down to this crown spine or the way that this right here... And this is just my opinion, right? Man, they're really, really good. They really both are. I think I have to give them a tie because it's both Riot. Yeah, tie. Action. All right, let's start with Gungnir. Flipper tab. Bang. Right? Bolster lock, no stick, nothing. Drop shut like a guillotine. Tings out, drop shut. Has a hole for the flick. It works with my pressure game. Pops out, locks up. Detent on the flipper could be a little bit stronger, and it will be on the production model. It does not require much. It's just me saying you can feel it doing this. Heavy ass blade though, right? So the action on this thing is absolutely to die for. Sorry, my finger slipped there. It's a little wet too, by the way, from KPL and blood. Yeah, the action on this thing is absolutely incredible. I love it very, very much. Avant flipper tab is pokey but dialed to perfection. That flipper tab is amazing, guys. It just hammers out every time you go to flick it. Bang, right? Then you have the hole for reverse flick. If you put your finger up here, it flies out, right? Bang. Tings out like that. If you put your finger down here, it's really light, guys. It just feels so much lighter down there. And to me, that's the only thing that I can differentiate between these two is that detent difference. And not even detent difference. It's more or less like, because they almost feel identical in terms of how hard it is to pull out. This one's a little stiffer, but I just don't like that. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to bother most people because you're just going to flick it, right? And I do like how you can get your middle finger in there and flick it as well. You can flick it a lot of different ways. But I like a D10 that breaks and locks up when I flick it out. And the Gungnir has that, you know? The flipper D10 is not dialed as well as this, so it's a give and take, right? But I prefer middle finger flicking. So, yeah, I got to give it to Gungnir on action. And it also does this, where this, you got to shake it down. It will drop to your nail, and then it's, you know, it's good. It's really good. I'm not trying to say it's not good. I'm trying to be careful here. But the Gungnir just has the action department by a smidgen, right? So Gungnir, action. All right, we are done. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Gungnir. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Avant. Fuck me. Really? Ah, shit. Alright, I got rid of perceived value and I got rid of fit and finish, because fit and finish is kind of unfair, man. You know, they're basically identical. And I really like this on this knife, and I really like this on this knife. Shit. Can I have a tie? I don't want to have a tie, man. Fuck me. Alright, I gotta make a decision on fit and finish, guys. I can't, I'm not gonna be a bitch here and punk out. I think I would say that I really like the crown spine. I appreciate that feature on the knife. But I don't necessarily need it. It's not something that personally I'm like, oh, it's gotta have a crown spine. It honestly just reminds me of Italian knives, and I'm like, oh, crap. You know? I really just love how this is finished, this titanium. I don't know what it is. It reminds me so much of a Sharp by Design knife. How it's just perfectly rounded on all these corners, and it just looks so amazing. So it's going to Gungnir, and he's going to win. The Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir just took the battle of the boutique brand prototypes. I just realized these are both the first models from each of these companies. That is so exciting, guys. I don't know if you can tell how much I love both of these, right? And it's their first model, their first prototypes. That is impressive shit right there. I just hope that one day when I come out with a knife, which I plan to do, it will be this level, and I can be as proud as these guys should be. Both of you guys, I'm talking to Jake Wright, Ryan Rimmer, and Chris from Renegade Provisions Co. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. I know you don't care what I think, but you should be extremely proud that you guys have put these products out, or are putting these products out, and this is the start, the beginning. I'm honored to be a part of it. This was all in good fun, but I truly, truly love both these knives, and I will be getting them both. So thank you guys so much for letting me check these out, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and click that dingy dong so you don't get notified, or so you do get notified. I'm kidding. You can go fuck yourself. So anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Ting!